In the realm of Edena, a king's love meets the shadow of conquest. King Jared fastens a necklace around his daughter Kitana's neck, a gift, he tells her, from Lord Raiden himself. The god of thunder is always listening, always watching. It is a tender moment and it is the last one they will share. Emperor Shao Kahn of Outworld arrives like a thunderclap, armored, unstoppable, burning with a single ambition, to unite every realm under his iron rule. But the elder gods have written laws that even emperors must obey. No armies. No wars. Only one-on-one combat, a tournament called Mortal Kombat. Win 10 consecutive tournaments and dominion over a realm is yours forever. Edena's greatest warriors are already gone, fallen in previous battles, leaving only King Jared to stand between his people and eternal subjugation. Jared fights with everything he has, brilliant, fierce, desperate. He disarms Shao Kahn, wounds him, drives him back, but an emperor who has conquered worlds does not fall so easily. Kahn strips the sword from Jared's fingers and ends the fight with his hammer. Edena falls. The sky turns to ash. Queen Sindel seizes a blade and fights the guards, but they overwhelm her and drag her down. Kahn commands the people to kneel, and one by one, they do. All except young Kitana, who walks through the silence to her father's fallen body and takes the blue ribbon from his hair, the only piece of him she can carry. Kahn watches the girl with cold interest and makes a decision: he will adopt her as his own daughter. 20 years pass. Kitana has grown into something her father's conqueror never intended, a warrior of breathtaking skill and controlled fury. She trains with Jade, her closest companion and bodyguard. Jade fights brilliantly, but Kitana ends it with the blue ribbon, her father's last gift, now a weapon. Jade marks the anniversary of her service, grateful to a princess who always treated her like a sister. She gives Kitana 2 razor fan blades, beautiful and deadly as the woman herself. Back at the palace, Shao Kahn makes his next declaration: this tournament, he wants Earth. His sorcerer Shang Tsung arrives with intelligence. There is a relic called the amulet of Shinnok. It can heal any wound and transform a mortal into a god. A mercenary named Kano has stolen it, and they mean to take it back. On Earth, Lord Raiden moves quickly. He has assembled 4 champions, but the hourglass is almost empty and he still needs one more fighter. In a dingy convention hall parking lot, Johnny Cage, former action movie star, currently selling signed photos to people who have mostly forgotten him, is approached by Raiden and Sonya Blade. They want him to fight in a tournament that will decide the fate of the world. Johnny thinks they're obsessive fans until Raiden opens a portal in the air and suddenly the world feels very different. Johnny steps through. At Raiden's Sky Temple, he watches the other champions train fire, ice, crushing robotic arms, and realizes with dawning horror that he has no powers at all. Sonya explains the stakes plainly: champions can and do die in these fights. Earth has already lost 9 tournaments. One more loss and Shao Kahn controls their entire world. Johnny hates every word of this, but he stays. In the Outworld, the sorcerer Quan Chi performs a ritual in the darkness, dragging fallen warriors back from death. Kano's body is retrieved from Earth and reanimated, his first waking thought a burning memory of Sonya killing him. Quan Chi takes the amulet and gives Kano something in return: a new eye rebuilt, glowing, and ready to kill. Kano tests the laser. It works. He smiles like a man with nothing to lose. Back at the Sky Temple, the hourglass runs out. The last grain falls, and Sonya begins to glow as she is chosen for the tournament's first fight. She disappears. And then, inexplicably, so does Johnny, pulled away mid-drink from a bar where he'd been drowning himself in old footage of better days. Johnny lands in Outworld, and standing before him, framed by a sky of burning fighter flames, is Kitana. Each flame represents a living champion. The tournament ends when one side runs out. The gong strikes. Kitana hurls a fan blade instantly, and the fight begins. She is devastating, a combination of precision strikes, lethal blades, and absolute composure. Johnny holds on longer than anyone expects, but she drives him from roof to ruin before Kahn orders the kill. Kitana doesn't move. Johnny passes out. His flame dies in the sky as his body vanishes back to the temple, eliminated, humiliated, but alive. Elsewhere, Sonya faces Sindel, queen-turned-consort, fighting for the man who murdered her husband. Sindel's banshee scream is a weapon, a wall of sound that can throw a body across a room, block energy blasts, and make bones rattle. Sonya absorbs the punishment, using a skeleton as a shield, fighting through spikes that erupt from the floor, firing energy bolts through Sindel's body, and finally locking her in a leg choke and driving her down onto a spike. Sonya wins. One flame goes out on each side. The tournament is underway. Back at the temple, Raiden finds Johnny sulking in a corner and tells him the gods do not choose accidents. He just needs a different perspective on who he actually is. The next morning, Kitana slips away to a hidden forest temple and presses her necklace to the stone, and the magic Raiden wove into it opens a path to his realm. She has been Raiden's spy all along. Her brutal defeat of Johnny was necessary theater. Kahn was watching and had to believe she was loyal. Kitana tells them about the amulet. If Khan manages to fully charge it, he becomes something beyond any fighter's ability to stop. She also asks them to be kind to Jade, who will fight against them because Jade is still her sister. But when Kitana returns to Outworld, Jade is waiting outside the temple. She watched. She knows. She calls Kitana a traitor and invokes the oath she swore to Khan. The word hangs between them like a blade. The champions receive a shock at the temple when their fallen friend Kung Lao walks through the door, resurrected by Quan Chi and fighting for the other side. He greets them by slicing Raiden's neck with his hat, a spinning razor blade he controls with a thought. 3 champions vanish instantly into their tournament fights. Sonya faces Quan Chi, the sorcerer who keeps dragging the dead back into service. Johnny faces Shang Tsung, who absorbs his energy like a sponge and flings him at the wall. Meanwhile, Shang Tsung begins siphoning Raiden's divine power into the amulet, feeding it, filling it until Sonya blasts their enemies away. In the Outworld throne room, Quan Chi implants the amulet into the Emperor's chest, making Shao Kahn immortal. In the sewers, Cole Young faces that immortal Emperor alone. He gives everything: beams, blades, sheer will, and every wound seals shut in seconds. Khan swings his hammer and Cole is gone. On the streets, Jax faces Jade, their battle-hard and honest. He disarms her with his robot arms and grinds her down. Jade collapses and tells him to finish it. Jax remembers Kitana sparing Johnny and helps Jade to her feet instead. They're even. Liu Kang faces the Thing wearing his friend's face, the resurrected Kung Lao, empty of loyalty, wielding his razor hat as both weapon and portal. Liu Kang pleads with whatever remains of his brother. Nothing remains. So Liu Kang accepts the grief and fights with fire, literal fire, channeling flames through his legs to pin the hat to the ground. When Kung Lao makes one final lunge, Liu Kang grabs his hands and drives him down onto his own blade. The fight is over. The friend is gone. Cole is dead. Raiden is barely breathing. The surviving champions return to a temple that feels like a ruin. Then Kitana arrives with a plan and a warning. Raiden is weakening fast. When his power fails entirely, the portal home closes forever. There is a tunnel beneath Khan's castle, ancient, forgotten, built by the Tarkatans, a race of mutant warriors treated by Khan as slaves and tools. But when Kitana returns to Outworld, Jade is waiting. She takes the fan blades and lets the guards arrest Kitana for treason. The betrayal is clean and swift, and it breaks something between them that words may never repair. The champions travel to the Tarkatan village and meet Baraka, their leader. Liu Kang offers truth. Khan treats the Tarkatans as property. Help them win and that ends. Baraka has heard promises before. He tells them to leave. Then Johnny opens his mouth, insulting the clan, calling Baraka a coward, deliberately and recklessly lighting a fire he cannot control. It works. Baraka wants to fight him. Just not the way Johnny planned. Baraka erupts, blades extending from his arms, projectiles tearing through walls, throwing Johnny through the roof of a shack. Sonya calls out to him from outside, if he's just an actor, then it's time to act. Something clicks inside Johnny Cage. The washed-up celebrity disappears and something harder, faster, and genuinely dangerous steps forward. He corners Baraka, keeps him off balance, and wins with one legendary blow. Baraka is impressed enough to honor the outcome and agree to help. That night, Baraka guides them to the tunnel door and clears the guards. He cannot follow. Tarkatans are forbidden from the castle. So he watches from the threshold as the champions cross inside. In the throne room, Khan is deciding how to make Kitana talk. The answer is already alive in the room. Quan Chi has revived Sindel, and Khan threatens to make Kitana watch him kill her mother. Kitana admits she visited Raiden's realm but claims she couldn't find him. Khan orders her chained in the town square as a lesson to anyone who considers betrayal. Inside the castle corridors, the champions split to hunt the amulet, unaware that eyes in the shadows are tracking every step. Liu Kang finds the amulet first and Khan finds Liu Kang. The battle is savage. Fire dragons roar from Liu Kang's hands, twin pillars of flame that engulf Shao Kahn entirely. He steps out of the inferno without a mark. Jax arrives and the two of them work together, Liu Kang holding Khan's attention with fire while Jax tears open the amulet's cage with his robotic arms. But Khan is already turning. He drives his hammer through Jax's arm and rips it free, then uses it as a weapon. Sonya and Johnny arrive into the chaos. Khan hits her down in 2 strikes. Jax blocks him with his remaining arm and is brought down again, his second arm destroyed by the hammer. As Johnny runs for the amulet, Sub-Zero materializes and snatches it first. Khan uses the distraction to slam Jax into a column and kill him, brutally, completely. When Sonya and Khan disappear for the next tournament fight, guards flood the corridor, with Kano among them, who sizes up the situation and lines the guards up in a neat row to kill them all with a single laser shot. Kano has made his choice. The comforts of Earth beat the grime of Outworld. He's switching sides. He also brings crucial intelligence. Sub-Zero took the amulet to the Nether Realm, the land of the dead itself. Raiden will burn the last of his power to send them there. No power, no portal. If they don't destroy the amulet and restore Raiden's strength, they stay in the land of the dead forever. They also need a guide. A dead one. In the smoldering corridors of the Netherrealm, Johnny and Kano find the spirit of Scorpion Wraith, warrior, prisoner of his own grief. He refuses to help until they speak the name Sub-Zero, the man who slaughtered Scorpion's family. The world around them shifts to hellfire. Scorpion's body seals itself in armor. He will guide them. He will fight. And he will have his vengeance. Back in the Outworld town square, Jade chains Kitana to a post. Kitana doesn't plead, she speaks. Quietly, carefully, truthfully, trying to reach the sister hiding behind the soldier. Jade walks away without a word. But then she goes to Shang Tsung and asks him to enchant her weapon, claiming she wants to protect the amulet. Perhaps that is all it is. Perhaps not. In the town square, Liu Kang and Sonya find Kitana, but Shao Kahn appears for the final tournament fight before they can free her. Liu Kang and Sonya fight together, combining fire and bolt, trying every combination they have. Khan handles them both without breaking his stride, dropping Sonya and turning the full weight of his power on Liu Kang, who keeps fighting even as the odds collapse around him. He is stabbed by Khan's hammer handle, and as he fades, he speaks of his destiny, to bring Kung Lao back. He disappears in a burst of flames. In the Netherrealm, the group finds Sub-Zero, who has gained a terrifying new power, shadow duplication. He splits himself into copies that can phase through solid matter and slip out of any grip. Scorpion takes on the real Sub-Zero with chain and fire while Johnny and Kano battle the duplicates, grabbing and holding them long enough for Kano's laser to tear them apart. When a copy captures Kano and forces him to vanish, it shoots the Shadow's belt, the amulet tumbles free, and Johnny slides across the ground to catch it at the very edge of the flames. The amulet is in his hands. He has no idea how to destroy it. In the town square, Shao Kahn stands over everyone he has broken and announces to the world that Earth belongs to him. Then a fan blade catches the light. Kitana, freed by Sonya's bolt, steps into the open and renounces Shao Kahn before every person watching. She pledges herself to Earth. A new flame blazes into existence in the sky, accepting her. Kahn is suddenly the last champion on his side. The fight between them is vicious, Kitana slashing, stabbing, spinning, but the wounds keep closing. Then they stop. The amulet is destroyed. Kahn bleeds for the first time. He stares at his own blood with something approaching disbelief, and Kitana does not give him a moment to recover. She disarms him, drives her blades into him repeatedly, slashes his face with a spinning fan, and when he wraps his hand around her throat and sneers that she is weak like her father, Kitana reaches up and takes the blue ribbon from her hair, her father's last gift, and wraps it around Shao Kahn's throat. She tears off his helmet. She shows the crowd the face of the man who stole her world. Then she drives her rotating fans into his skull. Shao Kahn is dead. The tournament is over. Edena is free. The crowd that once knelt before a conqueror now rises to cheer for their queen. Kitana sits on the throne that was always meant for her, with Jade at her right hand. Kitana's words found their mark after all. Jade chose a side, the right one. And somewhere in the Tarkatan village, Johnny Cage is telling the whole story to anyone who will listen, with significantly more drama than strictly necessary. Raiden interrupts with business. Kano has captured Quan Chi, the sorcerer who raised the dead will now be made to give them back Cole, Jax, Kung Lao, all of them. The story is not finished. It never is. But for this moment, the realms are breathing again and a king's daughter has reclaimed everything he died for. Flawless victory.